Hey guys, I'm back again to do another video for the HORRORman's channel. This week's theme is terrifying toy slashers. So there's a lot of choices that you could have used for toy slashers. And he said it could be like, even like mannequins and stuff like that. And they didn't necessarily have to be the killer. But, you've got things like Annabelle has a really creepy doll. You got the Puppet Master, demonic toys. Poltergeist even has a little clown-like thing that always creeped me out when I was little. Dead Silence. You got the puppets. Those things are creepy. Yeah, and they look totally creepy. Trilogy of Terror has I think in the third segment, it's this weird little looking doll type thing that looks, I don't know, got the crazy hair, and I don't know what kind of doll it is, but it looks totally creepy, and it's so after her. And then, there's movies like Dolls and stuff like that. There's probably all kinds of things. But I ended up going with the ultimate in Chucky with Child's Play from 1988. This movie stars Catherine Hicks, who I best know from Seventh Heaven. That's what I've seen her on the most, because I used to watch that back in the day when it came on, like in the 90s. And yeah, 90s girl right here. So yeah, which you already know that. I keep saying that. Oh, I'm sorry. I can't help it. But yeah, that's what I most know her from. And then it's funny, I go back and watch things that, apparently she was in that I probably had seen before, but didn't realize who she was at the time when I was watching it then, because she didn't get popular to me until I watched Seventh Heaven. So, My sister's been telling me about a show called Tucker's Witch, which, I don't know, might be interesting. I need to check that out. This movie also stars Chris Sarandon, who was in Fright Night, and also The Princess Bride. He played Prince Humperdinck, which is a funny name, but that movie was funny and just an awesome movie. So, this also has Alex Vincent, the young boy. He mostly only did like the Chucky movies. He was in Child's Play 1 and 2, Curse of Chucky, and Cult of Chucky. It's funny, the Chucky movies, they kind of started off, like, really good. Like, I know, like, 1, 2, maybe 3 were, like, really good. And then it, like, goes on, and they get kind of more sillier and stuff. I don't know. And Chucky starts to look funnier because they do it differently. I don't know if they went from, like this to digital to whatever. I don't know how they did it, but over the time, Chucky starts to look just crazy. Which I like most of them. Chucky is Chucky, but yeah, it is what it is. But this movie also stars Brad Dourif, who plays Chucky. Charles Lee Ray, who is in the Chucky body. It's like crazy. Come on. He says some kind of voodoo magic stuff and it lightnings and he ends up in the doll. That's crazy. I do like how the Chucky doll looks. I don't know what, like, it's a good guy doll. I don't know what brand it was supposed to be, like Play Partners or something. I don't know. But it reminds me of My Buddy, which I absolutely loved. And if I had a picture of it right now, I would show you, because when I was little, I had a My Buddy. We were about the same size. My Buddy was probably my little boyfriend or something. But, he has that same kind of outfit going on, the overalls, the striped shirt. So I always liked the look of Chucky, even though the face and the hair and everything of Chucky, when it's a doll, it looks more like a My Buddy, but when it's Chucky, it don't. But I always thought that was cool. Because I loved My Buddy so much. But yeah. So this movie, to me, I really like it. I mean, it's funny. You do have some horror moments, and I don't know, it's just a good story. It's always funny that, most of the time, adults don't believe the children. The children are telling the truth, but adults don't want to believe. They think that's ridiculous. There can't be a person in that doll, they just don't believe. But then it's like, by the end of it, you're like, oh, they find out the truth. So it's like, Chucky, he's a doll. He's made up of plastic and stuffing. And, it's just so crazy that this kind of thing could happen, and it's, like, okay. So, the adults don't believe, and Andy, keeps saying the doll did this, the doll did that, and, they ain't believing him. They just think he's acting out, and stuff is happening, and other things are happening. I love a lot of scenes in this movie. There's an elevator scene, where a lady is like, somebody left their doll in the elevator, and she's like looking at it, and the husband or whoever is like, well, just leave it there. And so they exit, and then she looks at it again, and she's like, ugly doll. Yes, Chucky is ugly. But it's a funny scene to me. And towards the end, Andy is like about to light Chucky on fire, and Chucky's all like, Andy, no, we're friends till the end, remember? And Andy's like, this is the end, friend. I mean, there's so many funny lines in this movie, and I really like all the people that are in it. They're just such great actors to me, and it just, I don't know, it's a really good movie. I've always liked this one. I would say it's probably one of my favorites. I'd have to go back and watch 2 and 3, and because I can't really remember, but I now want to watch them because I really enjoyed this. It has been a while since I had watched this movie, and I'm supposed to have a set somewhere that has about all of them, or most of them anyway, except for the newer ones. And so now I really want to go back and watch them. And it's funny, just, all the stuff that just goes on in this movie. And the whole time, at first the detective does not believe. Then the mother, she finally believes, because she's taking the box and the batteries fall out. And then she realized Chucky has been talking this whole time without batteries. And then she's like trying to make him talk and just yelling at him that she's about to light him on fire, and he finally does talk, and she like screams so loud and just throws him, and he like bites her and everything. It's just like, okay. Then the detective finally gets involved, and he finally starts to realize when the clues start to add up, and he's like, okay, this doll really is alive. And then, after denying it for so long, and then even his partner or somebody he works with doesn't even, want to believe. And then this scene gets me because it's at the end of the movie. They had blown Chucky to pieces. He's like scattered all over the hall, blowed to bits. And the detective is in the other room because he got stabbed. And it's like his partner comes in and he's like, what happened? And he's just like telling him, well, Chucky's in there. He's been blown to pieces. He's all over the place. Do not touch him or touch anything. And I'm like, how do you even know that? You don't know you didn't see that. You were in another room. So that's one of those things, continuity things that don't make sense. And every movie like this has a scene that does not make sense. I mean, you have like in Halloween 4, the school scene where he has the blonde looking hair, and you're like trying to figure out, well, how did that happen? Like, I'm wondering, was it a scene that got mixed where she had sprayed him and the hair got colored? But it turned out it was a different mask or something, Every movie has these scenes, and normally a lot of stuff I can let slide and it don't bother me, but this was just one of those things that kind of did bother me because it stood out. Most of the time, I'm oblivious to the fact of things going wrong. Like, some of the scenes they say you can see arms holding up Chucky or this and that, and most of the time I'm oblivious, I guess, because I don't see the things that people see. But this I did notice, and it bothered me. But it was funny. After he told him not to pick up anything, he picks up Chucky's head. And I'm like, seriously? And it looks so dead, so like a plastic doll. So, he ain't gonna believe. But then the rest of the body is coming through vent and trying to choke the crap out of him. So, he's made to be a believer. And it's just, it's so funny. He's like, do you believe me now? And he's like, yeah, but who's gonna believe me? And exactly right. Who is gonna believe you? I mean, really, it's a doll. But this is a fun movie. I actually had a lot of fun with it this time. I mean, it's been a while since I watched it, and I really did enjoy it. There's a lot of things I could have watched. I could have watched something I hadn't seen before if I had figured something out that I hadn't really seen before. But I've seen a lot of movies with dolls and things in it. But this one was just easily available. It was on Netflix, so I just went for it, and I really, really enjoyed taking the time to watch this. And, every time you watch something, you learn something new. And that's a good thing, and it's good to go back and watch things and enjoy things and learn new things about it. Oh, that scared me. But yeah, okay, maybe it's time to end the video. I'm having a panic attack. But check out the HORRORman's channel. Let's continue to do these awesome reviews, and thank you for watching. I will see you on the next one.